Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Rick Douglas. Now to your top 11 stories at 11. Well, it's election day here in Idaho and across the country. Ada County's chief deputy clerk says an overall decline in voting is part of a trend that he's observed over the past few years. Phil McGrain expects only about a 24% turnout today. But there's a bit of encouraging news. He's seeing an influx of absentee ballots over the past few days, despite the delay in mailing them out.
But there are campaigns, whether it's mayoral campaigns or especially some of the levy questions, there's campaigns pushing people to get out to vote. So they're encouraging people to request a ballot, get their vote locked in early.
The deadline to mail in your absentee ballot is 8 tonight. You can also drop it off at the Ada County Election Headquarters on Benjamin Lane. Today, voters in Boise will decide a $10 million two-year foothills levy request. Essentially, it would preserve more property in the foothills and along the Boise River and create better access to that property.
In 2015, we have either purchased or through some sort of land exchange have preserved about 11,000 total acres.
Those protected acres have an estimated market value of some $37 million. Most people we talk to support preserving more foothills land. If approved, the levy would raise monthly taxes by $2.39 per $100,000 of assessed property value. One of the more interesting issues being voted on today is in Ohio. Residents there will decide whether to legalize marijuana. This is the first time that voters in a statewide election are being asked to approve recreational and medicinal marijuana at the same time. Under the measure, residents would be able to grow their own 4 plants for personal consumption. But commercial marijuana cultivation would be allowed on just 10 farms. And there's a twist here. One of those farm owners is former boy band singer Nick Lachey. A big roadblock for the Keystone pipeline project. TransCanada, the company behind the controversial proposal, has asked the State Department to suspend its review for now. Company officials say they're working with authorities in Nebraska on the pipeline route. Keystone opponents, though, accuse TransCanada of trying to delay the process, hoping the next president will get behind it. As we know, President Obama is widely expected to reject the pipeline project. The investigation continues into the officer-involved shooting this weekend that killed a rancher in Council. As first responders were trying to put down a bull that had been hit by a car, deputies say the animal's owner, 62-year-old Jack Yantis, approached with a rifle. It's believed the 2 deputies and Yantis began firing their weapons, leaving Yantis dead. The 2 deputies have been placed on administrative leave. State regulators approved a 16-month plan to implement the numbers 986. The new numbers launch in late 2017. The Idaho Public Utilities Commission say they are using a geographic overlay plan. That means that only the new numbers will get the new code. If you already have a 208 area code, you won't have to switch. The city of Nampa is one step closer to adding bike lanes on a major road. City council members have approved a proposal to bring designated lanes to Garrity Boulevard. City leaders want to improve the master bicycle and pedestrian plan in Nampa. They say adding bike lanes to Garrity is a key piece to that puzzle. With the mayor's stamp of approval, this could all become a reality within the next couple of years. A Washington state woman has filed a lawsuit against the Chipotle restaurant chain after she claims she contracted an E. coli infection at one of its restaurants in Vancouver. Charmaine Mode of Kelso says she suffered from nausea, diarrhea, and other symptoms. At least 3 people in the Portland area and 19 in Western Washington have come down with a bacterial illness, and that's prompted a warning from health officials.
Thing is that if you've eaten at Chipotle between October 14th and October 23rd and you have vomiting or bloody diarrhea, call your doctor. If you have severe diarrhea lasting more than 3 days or vomiting where you can't keep down food, call your doctor.
This is the 3rd foodborne illness outbreak for Chipotle this year. As a result, the chain has closed all of its stores in both Washington and Oregon. No word yet on when they will open. Everyone wants to know why Russia's Metrojet Flight 9268 plummeted into Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, killing all 224 people on board. Investigators are looking now at the plane's data recorders. They also recovered the fuselage at the crash site. New information suggests there was a catastrophic mid-air event, perhaps even a bomb. And U.S. experts say satellite imagery shows a bright flash in the suspected location of the plane just before it went down. Hotel giant Hilton is under fire for allegedly blocking guests' personal Wi-Fi hotspots. The FCC fined Hilton $25,000 yesterday for obstructing its investigation into the allegations. The agency says Hilton will face significantly higher fines if it continues to stonewall the investigation. Hilton guests have complained for more than a year that the Hilton hotels blocked individual Wi-Fi hotspots unless guests paid a $500 fee. Controversial Iraqi political figure Ahmed Chalabi has died of a heart attack at his Baghdad home. That's according to a senior Iraqi military official. Chalabi was a key supporter of the 2003 U.S. invasion of Iraq. While living in exile, he provided intelligence to then-President George W. Bush's administration about Saddam Hussein's alleged weapons of mass destruction. Chalabi's claims were later discredited. Ahmed Chalabi was 71.